Okay, good morning, students. Today we are going to start the third unit in marketing specialization, that is sales and distribution management. On that third unit, we have to study about the sales organization. Okay, we have to study about what? Sales organization. So, sales organization is an important organ of the overall business organization. Okay, it refers to the machinery brought into existence with a view to undertake the sales activities of an organization smoothly and efficiently. It is concerned with planning, organizing, staffing, directing, coordinating, and controlling of the sales personnel, which includes recruitment, selection, training, equipping, assigning, rating, supervising, paying, and motivating the sales force. Exactly, this is what a literal meaning of sales organization. And for doing any activity, as we know, as we have studied earlier in the management field, that the importance, the need of the organization is very much necessary. Okay, so in the companies only, in the organization, in the organizations only, there are sub organizations, there are sub departments which is being known as sales organization or the sales department. Okay, so this is what one of the important organ, or we can say that this is one of the important element of the entire business organization, of the overall entire business organization, because it is the only machinery with the help of which the products which is being researched in the company, the products which has been innovated in the company, those products should be delivered in the market. Those products and services should be made available in the market for the customers. That is known as what? Sales organization. Okay, and it should be very much, and there are various activities related to sales organization, and on those activities the functions of sales organization is to deal with those activities. Okay, so sales organization is both an orienting point for cooperative and a structure of human relationships. It is a group of individuals striking jointly to reach quantitative and qualitative objectives and bearing informal and formal relations to one another. Implicit in the concept of a sales organization, the notion that individual members cooperate to attain ends. The sales organization is not an end in itself, but rather the vehicles by which individuals achievement given ends. Existence of a sales organization implies the existence of pattern relationships among subgroups and individuals established for purposes of initiating accomplishment of the group's aim. Exactly, all the individuals who are working in the organization, they just club together, they just do their activities for the purpose of a common goal or a target. Okay, that objective and that purpose which should be accomplished on a very quantitative and qualitative way comes in the form of what? Sales organization. And their work activity, we can say that it is a kind of vehicle in the organization. It is a kind of vehicle which helps the people in the organization, on the basis of which they can come up with various activities, and they just do the selling activities or the selling of the products and services which has been innovated by the company or the organization. Okay, so we can also say that organizations we can also say that organizational defects often trace to lack of attention given to sales organization during the early existence of a company. When setting up a business, management is more concerned with financing and non-marketing problems. Executives of new enterprises consider organization questions, but most often these relate to non-marketing activities. Okay, in manufacturing, example, any products are improved production quantities increased, new products added, and production process developed, the manufacturing organization is adopted to changed situations. Similar attentions in the sales organizations are frequently neglected or postponed. Exactly. If we are going to neglect any of the activities or for the building of sales organization, then it is going to just all the activities which we are going to do for the organization, whether that should be the capability of the production, whether that should be the capability of the human resource, capability of the means finance, anything related to the entire organization, IT related to anything, then on that case all are going to collapse, because we are giving very less attention towards the sales organization. And sales organization is the backbone of any organization. It is their responsibility to move out in the market and meet to the customers and try to sell the products. Okay, so sales organization in many companies evolved without regard for changing conditions. Okay, the basic setup design when the company was new, okay, remains despite. Example in selling styles and size of sales force. The sales organization, after all, is the vehicle through which personal selling strategy is implemented. A well-designed sales organization, like a well-designed automobile, accomplishes more and more economically than does one that is an artifact. Okay, so this is what a very important meaning of sales organization, that why it is being established. Okay, the sales organization should be adjusted to fit, ideally to anticipate changing situations, shift in marketing, in competition, and in other business factors call for changes in the sales organization. The ideal sales organization has a built-in adaptability, allowing it to respond approximately in fluid and diverse marketing environments. Okay, so these are the important aspects which is being related to the sales organization. Okay, I believe that most of you have understood the importance of sales organization, as well as why sales organizations are there in the company, what is the need of that, and if there should be a sales organization in the company, then it should be very necessary for the entire organization that they have to adjust their activities and push and give priority to the sales organization, so that the entire sales of the company would be increased. Okay, now let us deal about needs and importance of sales organization. That what is the need and what is the importance of sales organization, why there is a need, why we need, and what are the importances of a sales organization. Number one, number first need for sales organization, or the importance of sales organization, is that expand the sales on a continuous basis. Exactly, the very first need of sales organization is that to expand the sales on a continuous basis, that we have to expand the sales on a very continuous basis. Continuously the sales of the organization would be increased. For that purpose the sales organization would be needed. The next one is smooth distribution of goods and services. Exactly, the distribution of the goods and services would be in a very smooth manner. For that purpose also the sales organization is being needed. Okay, and the third important need of sales organization is what? It helps to plan, purchase, and create demand patterns for the products and services. It means that it helps in the planning of the purchase pattern as well as the demand it creates the demand, it makes the customer to increase their demands related to the products and services. Okay, the fourth important need of sales organization is what? It divides and fixes authority and responsibility among the subordinates. As we know that sales department of any organization is one of the important department and one of the big department where most of the salesperson are working to promote the products and services only. Okay, so we have to divide and fix the authority and responsibility among the subordinates. Okay, the fifth one is what? The fifth need of sales organization is what? It helps to stimulate the effects of the salesman and enforce proper control over them. Exactly, it helps to stimulate, to excite the efforts of the salesman. The efforts of the salesman would be stimulated and it enforce proper control over them, and a proper control would be enforced over the salespersons. Okay, and the sixth one is what? It handles all the task of distribution like receiving inquiries, answering them, appealing for orders, receiving the orders, packing and dispatching. Okay, so these are the various activities which is being delivered in the sales organization. That's why there is a need of sales organization, a separate organization. These are the various activities on the basis of which these are the needs which the company personnel feel, on the basis of which they develop the sales organization. Okay, so let us also deal about the purpose of sales organization. That what is the purpose of sales organization in the organization? The very first purpose for developing a sales organization in the organization, in the company, why there is a purpose, why the company used to develop a sales organization. कंपनी में सेल्स ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को क्यों डेवलप किया जाता है, इसका पर्पस क्या होता है? ठीक है, तो सबसे पहला पर्पस क्या है? टू परमिट द डेवलपमेंट ऑफ स्पेशलिस्ट. एग्जैक्टली, डेवलप करना क्या? स्पेशलिस्ट को ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में परमिट करना, परमिशन एक मिलना पूरे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को, ताकि वो डेवलप करे एक इंपॉर्टेंट क्या बोलते हैं स्पेशलिस्ट. ओके, एज अ बिजनेस एक्सपैंड्स, मार्केटिंग एंड सेलिंग एक्टिविटीज मल्टीप्लाई एंड बिकम्स increasingly complex. It is difficult to fix responsibility for performance of all necessary activities, particularly when executives are reluctant to delegate authority. One purpose of recognizing the sales department is to facilitate assignment, responsibility and delegation of authority. This often requires reshaping the structure so that it is easier for a specialist to develop. In fact, specialization, division of labor, as economists call it, is the chief means through which the process of organization and reorganization are affected. As tasks grow in number and complexity, they are broken down into manageable units and are assigned to specialized personnel. This involves fixing responsibility for a special task with specific individuals or occasionally with certain groups. The assignment made are called delegation of authorities. This is conducive to the development of specialists. Exactly, this is what related to the permit the development of a specialist, the very first purpose. Okay, the second purpose for developing the sales organization is to assure that all necessary activities are performed. This is what the very second activity of or purpose of sales organization, that is to assure that all necessary activities are performed. Exactly, as a sales organization grows and specialization increases, it is increasingly important to perform all necessary activities. Okay, what is necessary changes over time. Exactly, it is very much necessary that we have to change over the time. When jobs are highly specialized, danger exists the organizational plans will not provide for supervision of all activities. Exactly, essential tasks may not be performed simply because they are not assigned to specific individuals. Okay, when a company is small, for instance, its executives are in close contact with users of the product. As a company grows, as marketing channels lengthen, and as the marketing area expands geographically, top executives become further and further removed from the customers. As soon as executives begin to lose their informal contacts with customers, an individual should be assigned responsibility for maintaining such relationships. If these contacts are highly important, responsibility for maintaining them should be assigned to an executive specialization in customer relations. Exactly, this is what the second important purpose of sales organization. The third important purpose to develop the sales organization is what? To achieve coordination. Exactly, coordination. As we know that coordination is a very important term. A good organization achieves coordination or balance. Individuals vary in competence, potential and effectiveness. Particularly forceful executives may prevent, okay, particularly forceful exactly particularly forceful executives may prevent a basically sound organization from functioning smoothly. Okay, this personalities may be such that through assumptions or of authority, failure to delegate it, or both their positions are magnified out of the proportions of their importance. Wonder yet total accomplishments of the organizations are less than they could have been if, so to speak, greater advantage had been taken of the synergistic effects. If we talk about this synergistic effect, then as we know that synergistic effect means 2 plus 2 equals to 5 or 6 or equals to 3 or 2. Okay, where if we are going to add 2 strengths, then it will be giving us more benefits. Okay, so that just like that is known as what? Synergistic effect. When the sum of the combination effort exceeds the efforts of the same individuals working alone. By getting people to pull together as a team rather than as assortment of individuals. Exactly, the organization accomplishes more collectively than its members could independently. Okay, so this is what the basic and as specialists emerge in a growing sales organization, management must guard against a tendency of each to search for ways to justify his or her own existence. One form of justification is to devise technical nomenclatures that non-specialists in other areas have difficulty understanding. Thus, in turn, leads to increasing communications difficulties with other specialists and a reduction in overall organizational effectiveness. These instances of incoordinated proliferation suggest that top sales executives should concern themselves continuously which orchestrations of effort. Modern organizational theory suggests that sales departments should be divided into small, freely communicating, face-to-face groups to decrease the possibility of uncoordinated proliferation. Okay, so this is what the very second important purpose to develop the sales organization. The third important purpose to develop the sales organization is what? To define authority. Exactly, this is the very important purpose for developing the sales organization, that is to define authority. Okay, so the sales executives should know whether their authority is line, staff, or functional line authority, carries the power to require execution of orders by those lower in the organizational hierarchy. Staff authority is the power to suggest to those holding line authority the method for implementation of an order. Functional authority enables the specialists in particular areas such as technical product service to enforce their directives within a specific and limited field. Line executives make decisions on the need, place, and time of action over a wide range of staff executives advise line executives about methods but have no formal power to require or enforce the execution of their recommendations. So, functional executives are specialists, experts in some aspects of the business who assist executives holding general line authority. Example, such specialists advise on new product introduction. They do this by issuing orders mainly on routing technical problems directly to lower organizational levels. All executives should understand the nature of their authority with respect to each aspect of the operation. Otherwise, friction develops. Exactly. When, for instance, staff executives attempt to exercise line authority, they are headed for trouble with the line executives whose authority is usurped. Okay, so this is what the sales organization supervises direction from several sources. Okay, a sales organization, for instance, may be instructions on merchandising the advertising from an advertising specialist, directions for administering a questionnaire to customers from a marketing research technician, and general supervision and direction from the district state manager. Okay, so this is what the very important purpose for developing the sales organization. And the last important purpose for developing the sales organization is what? Very important purpose is what? To economic on executive times. Exactly. As a sales department, operations are activities increase in complexity and number. Additional subordinates are added. Very much. This permit higher ranking sales executives to delegate more authority. It also allows for more effective and specialization, while higher executives devote less time to operations and more to planning. One purpose. Okay, so this is what the very important activity, or we can say that the purpose of developing the sales organization. Okay, so these are what the important purposes of developing the sales organization. Now, let us talk about the setting up a sales organization. Okay, that how we are going to set up the sales organization. No often is a sales organization built entirely from scratch. We are going to develop the sales organization from the scratch, from the very beginning, as some structure usually exists. Most problems of sales organization, in other words, are problems of reorganization. Exactly. It is what? The problems of reorganization, where we are going to reorganize the entire department. The sales organization exists and the goal is to make it more effective. It is appropriate, nevertheless, for the sales executive to approach the organizational problem each time it arises, as though a completely new organization were being built. There are 5 major steps in setting up a sales organization. Okay, so from the scratch we are going to develop the sales organization, and there are basically 5 important steps on the basis of which the sales organization are being set up. Okay, so those are what? Number first, defining the objectives. Okay, the initial step, number first is what? Defining the objectives. The initial step is to define the sales department's objectives. Top management, of course, defines the long run objectives for the company, and from these, the general or long run objectives for the sales department are derived. Considered collectively, general objectives constitute top management vision of the company at some future time. Okay, so this is what the important objectives on the basis of which we are going to develop the sales organization or set up the sales organization. Okay, so the very first purpose is what? To define the objectives of the entire sales organization. Okay, the very next step is what? Determination of activities and their volume of performance. Exactly. Fundamental to sound organizational design is recognition that activities are being organized. Only after determining all necessary activities and estimating their volumes of performance, it is possible to answer such questions as what executive positions are required, what should be their relationship to other positions, what should be the duties and responsibilities of persons who fill their positions. Exactly. So, determining the necessary activities and their volume of performance is a matter of analyzing the sales department's qualitative and quantitative objectives. Thorough examination discloses which activities must be performed in what volume. The activities involved in modern sales management are similar from firm to firm. Okay, and although individual sales executives think that their operations are different, more differences are more apparent than real. Almost every sales department carries on the same general activities. Differences among departments and those of detail of relative emphasis placed upon individual activities in volume of performance. Okay, so this is what the second step for setting up a sales department. The third step in setting up of a sales department is grouping activities into positions. Exactly. Next, the activities identified are necessary are allocated to different positions. The planner must keep in mind that activities are aimed at achieving certain objectives. Ultimately, the composite provides the raw materials from which job descriptions are compiled. So, it is in terms of reporting relationship, job activities, duties and the responsibilities and performance measures. Okay, in other terms we can see that grouping activities into position is what? Activities are classified and grouped so that closely related tasks are assigned to the same position. Each position should contain not only a sufficient number of tasks but sufficient variation to provide for job challenge, interest and involvement. Only in very large organizations where extreme interests and involvement, only in very large or where extreme specialization is practiced, should a position comprise only a single activity. And even here the burden of proof should be on those proposing only a single activity, and even here the burden of proof should be on those proposing such a move. Okay, so the fourth step, so this is what the third step, and the fourth step for setting up a sales organization is assignment of personnel to position. Exactly, the next step is to assign personnel to the positions. Okay, whatever the personnel we are going, we have to assign them to the positions they have got. Okay, this brings up the questions of whether to recruit special individuals to fill the positions or to modify the positions to fit the capabilities of available personnel. This is a question that has long been controversial. Compromises are frequent. On the one hand, some positions recruitments are sufficiently general that many individuals possess the necessary qualifications or can acquire them through training. On the other hand, some individuals possess each unique talents and abilities that it is prudent and profitable to modify the job specifications to fit them. Okay, so this is what the fourth step. The fifth step is what? Provision for coordination and control. Exactly. Sales executives who have other reporting to them, that is those with line authority, requires means to control their subordinates and to coordinate their efforts. This should not be so overburdened that detailed and undelegated responsibilities that they have sufficient time for coordination, nor should they have too many subordinates reporting directly to them. This weakens the quality of control and prevents the discharge of other duties. Thus, in providing for coordination and control, consideration must be given the span of executive control. So, control and coordination is obtainable through both informal and formal means. Strong leaders control and coordinate the effort of their subordinates largely on an informal basis through sheer force of personality coupled with usual abilities to attract and held the loyalty of followers. The strong leader tends to make minimal use of formal instruments of control and coordination. But all sales executives, whether strong leader or not, can improve their effectiveness through formal instruments of control. Exactly, this is what a very important aspect where we have to control and make the coordination among various staffs who are working as a sales personnel, and with the help of this we can only control, and for controlling them various job descriptions would be provided to them, and organizational charts would be made, and all those things would be done. Okay, thank you to all of you. Okay.